Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a system designed to get you off the content treadmill for good. I'm talking about a workflow that lets you multiply your output without actually multiplying your effort. It's all about turning every single piece of content you make into a goldmine of reusable assets. Let's dig in. So think about this for a second. You spend hours, maybe even days, crafting this amazing article. You hit publish, it gets that little burst of attention, and then what? It just sits there, right? Kind of collecting digital dust, all that work, all that value just locked away after one use. It's a huge frustration, and if you create content, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? What if there were a structured approach that gives every piece you write a super long and productive life across a dozen different platforms? Well, there is, and honestly, it's way more straightforward than you might think. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the problem itself. Then I'll introduce you to this really elegant solution called the content atom. After that, we'll walk through exactly how to turn those atoms into assets, how to systematize the whole thing, and then, best of all, how it creates this awesome feedback loop of constant improvement. Okay, so the core problem is this constant nagging pressure to always be creating something brand new, right? This means our old content, which is still super valuable, by the way, just gets left behind. And when we do try to repurpose stuff, it's usually a chaotic last-minute scramble instead of a real thought-out strategy. Now for the big idea, this is the key mind shift. What if we stopped looking at an article as one big solid block of text and instead started treating every major section, every H2 heading, as its own little powerful and totally reusable content engine? That's the whole game right there. And that brings us to the official definition. A content atom is just a single, self-contained part of your article. The key is that it's designed from the very beginning to answer one specific question really clearly, and to act as the raw material for a whole bunch of other content pieces. So how do you actually build one of these things? Well, the trick is to write with extraction already in mind. So each atom focuses on one question. It has this tiny 20 to 40 word micro answer that can totally stand on its own. You intentionally bake in a hook, a little bit of evidence, and a simple 3-point list that's just perfect for an Instagram carousel. And you use really clear language. Finally, and this is important, you give it a unique ID and some tags. You're basically pre-building your social content right inside your main article. And here is where the magic happens. Because you've already built all those little hooks and lists right into the source, a single, well-written content atom can now reliably spin off 7, 8, or even more distinct assets for all your different platforms. This is where your efficiency just goes through the roof. Okay, so how do we actually do it? How do we go from this one little atom to a whole bundle of content? Let's get into the practical blueprint. The workflow is actually beautiful in its simplicity. First, you write the atom using those rules we just talked about. Second, you pull out a predictable set of assets from it. And third, you tag every single one of those new assets so you know exactly where it came from. Super simple. And what does that assets bundle actually look like? Well, from just one atom, you can consistently get a tweet, a carousel for LinkedIn, a great looking quote card, a couple of short captions for different platforms, and even a script for a short form video. It's not a guessing game, it's a predictable, repeatable output. This is a really key point. The goal here isn't just to make more noise or more stuff. It's about maintaining quality and consistency by making sure every little piece traces right back to that original atom. You slash your editing time, And more importantly, you keep your facts straight across every channel. So look, having a great creative process is one thing, but to make it really powerful, you've got to build a system around it. This is where we go from just a good idea to a scalable, trackable content engine using some really simple tools like tags and manifests. And it all starts with something that sounds kind of boring, but is absolutely critical: a consistent naming convention. Every single file gets named with its source article, the specific section ID it came from, its format, and any variations. This isn't just about being tidy. This is what makes automation and precise tracking possible later on. Now this right here, this is the heart of the system. It's called the asset manifest. You can think of it as your single source of truth. It's really just a simple spreadsheet that logs every single asset you create. And this is so crucial because this manifest is what lets you do passage level analytics. It means you can see not just which articles are doing well, but which specific ideas and sections inside those articles are really hitting home with your audience. Of course, to maintain quality when you're moving this fast, you need a quick little QA checklist. It's simple stuff, but it's non-negotiable. Are the stats right? Does the link have the right tracking codes? Does the tone feel right for your brand? This simple process is what preserves trust and keeps everything consistent. Okay, so we've saved time, we've made more content, that's great, but the real power, the real magic of this system is what happens over the long haul. This isn't just a one-time efficiency boost, it's a system that gets smarter and better with time. And this is that virtuous loop. This is where it all comes together. So you analyze how your social posts, your videos, all those little assets are performing. Maybe you notice a certain phrase in a tweet got a ton of engagement. That's a huge signal. So you go back to the original article and update that content atom with better, proven wording. Now every future asset you make from that atom is automatically better. Your whole content engine is literally learning from your audience and compounding in value. So let's just put it all side by side. Without the system, you're stuck on that treadmill, just making one-off content. Your data is fuzzy. Your messaging is all over the place. But with the Atomic Content System, you have a compounding engine, super precise analytics, guaranteed consistency, and a calm, systematic way to do things. The difference is night and day. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. Start looking at your content differently, not as finished products, but as a collection of these powerful, reusable atoms. And really ask yourself, what could your smallest, most overlooked piece of content truly become? What's its hidden potential?